third quarter of 2023 and our second quarterly finance update of 2023, and our first in this wonderful new city building. This committee meeting represents my commitment as committee chair to keeping council members and citizens informed, and further represents my intent for this committee to continue to receive quarterly financial updates from the finance director. The quarterly updates we've received from 2020 through the first quarter of 2023 have proved very valuable in keeping council members informed and updated on a recurring basis. As has also been our practice the past 2 years, council members, members of the committee have received for review prior to this meeting a quarterly refuse and recycling report from Amanda Gamby. This report will only be addressed if committee members have any questions. I look forward to the presentation. Do either of my fellow committee members have any opening comments?
Nope, just happy to be here.
All right. Well, then hearing none, we will move on to receive the second quarter finance update from Dana Pinkert, the finance director.
All right, thank you. Okay, let's get started. This is review quarter to date, second quarter 2023. It's a lot of the same from the first quarter, but that's not a bad thing. So we'll go over citywide activity, summary by fund type, budget to actual, cash position, capital funding, and then an income tax summary and an update of what we have coming for the third quarter. And this is your everything in one quick little snapshot. It does include our carryover balances and the budget to actual. I mean, it looks pretty much how we would expect it to at the end of the second quarter. Percentages outside that 50% threshold are due to timing of activity. For example, real estate tax, so we've gotten that, or a one-time transaction like grants or transfers and advances. Encumbrances are amounts approved on purchase orders and set aside. So it just kind of shows you have your actual year-to-date expenses, but you can assume that those amounts encumbered are going to be spent by the end of the year as well. And you can see in all but the capital funds that revenues have exceeded expenditures, which is good. Again, that means that we're not delving into those fund balances like we budgeted, and we may still at the end of the year, but if we can keep this trend, we'll have more carryover than we anticipated at the end of the year. And in those capital funds, those are those bond funds that we've spent down for this beautiful building that you see. We did start that, and this is the proof of it. So the next three charts, I'll just show you this same information in some tables kind of broken down. And this is the revenue budget to actual. Again, you know, the capital funds are under 50% due to some transfers and stuff that haven't been done. Everything else is in that 50 to 60% range for revenue, and that's good. And here is the expense split out. You can see all of the year-to-date expenses under the 50%. So that's a good indicator of our conservative budgeting and just trying to control those expenses. And this is the revenue against the expense. You can see they're pretty evenly matched. It's just a visual of the same thing in the first worksheet. So on to our cash position. This is by fund type, and it just kind of shows you where our revenue, where our fund balances lie, and the types of funds they're in. I'm sorry. And then on to the capital fund summary. And this is those capital amounts just broken down into types, and you can see that of the capital fund balances indicate our level of commitment to protecting our infrastructure and planning for future projects. And most of ours in that capital reserve funds section is the bond funds. And it has decreased, I talked about it last time, that it would decrease by 1.5 million since the end of the first quarter. And that is due to the bond fund spend down and transfers out for 2023 projects. And this is our income tax summary for June, because this is a second quarter year-to-date summary. And as you can see, we were under our estimate by then, and it was a little concerning, so I had to delve into July's numbers for some type of explanation. And by the end of July, we had exceeded our target by more than $200K, and our year-to-date against last year by 4.4%. And so I just put this on this next slide. July's numbers are there just to kind of show you. We had been watching it. We were, tax administrator and I were watching it through May and June, and thinking that it was a timing issue with our business withholdings, and that's what it looks like it was once we got through our tax season and businesses caught up. So we are still on target for what we budgeted. And this is just the same. It's a bar chart with the same information that just kind of shows you visually where we're at. And our income tax distribution by fund, where each $100 of that income tax collected goes. So from a 2023 budget consideration, there's no red flags or major material concerns at the end of the second quarter. Third quarter activity has us more of the new building expense realized, finalizing our 2022 audit. We completed our statements. They're in the audit process now. For council consideration, Wood County will release our amounts and rates based on our property tax valuations, and those always go before council for consideration and accepting. And we start our 2023 budget process. And we know that, we're still watching this economy and inflationary stuff, so that will all go into that budget process.
Is that 2024?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, 2024.
I mean,
Darn it,
It's-
I got almost to the last slide.
oh, no, really, I have found in my professional life that forecasting that which has occurred greatly improves the accuracy of forecast.
And we've adopted it.
Yeah, yeah.
So with that, any questions?
You've answered one question I ask each time, and that is any red flags, or wording it another way, what about the budget would keep you awake at night? And do you have anything to say?
I think for 2023, we're on track. I've talked with the administration about, we know there's inflationary things that are coming up, still problems with the labor market. So I think it's going to be a tight 2024 budget process. We have people leaving. We have key employees leaving that help us with that budget process. So those are just the kind of things that I'm reeling around in my mind right now.
Well, I think as far as deciding whether we can afford this building or go back to the old one, I think that ship has sailed. So.
I believe you're right.
Not concerned, so.
Yep.
I did see your old office is no longer there. I was hoping you didn't leave anything in there.
No, I left a desk and a chair, and I watched that fall out the window this morning. So.
Mark, any questions?
No, I have no questions.
I don't either. Thank you for the update. No, this is, it's still very helpful. I know it'll be more helpful to get into third quarter because that'll be just prior to the consideration of the next budget. And looking forward to that process as well, so.
All right, thank you.
We really appreciate it. Do you have any handout with respect to the current status of where the ARPA funds are and how it's moved from account to account? And
I don't have it prepared now, no, but I can come up with some type of listing of our expenditures.
no hurry, I would appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, committee members, or does anybody have any questions or concerns about the refuse recycling waste diversion report?
Appreciate the report.
But Mark, any,
No, I'm,
typically, it's just very good information, and I
Yep.
also don't have any questions. All right, well, hearing no questions on that matter, I will conclude this meeting. Thank everybody for attending.